you so much for joining another Take the Lead podcast. I am your host, Tara Chantel, and I'm super excited because we got another bag talk session where we talk about that spiritual bag within. We have the queen, Symone Royale. That is just such a powerful name. And I
Thank
want you to
you.
tell us everything that you do because you are truly amazing, everything that you got going on. So tell us what's up with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm a musician. I've been in music for a long time. I just started in church and it really just kind of took off from there, like a lot of artists. And my parents just saw how much I loved it, how much I, just felt so comfortable on stage and writing my own songs at an early age. So, you know, they saw how much I wanted to take my craft seriously. So I, studied music in school and, moved around, learned different lessons in different cities. I'm originally from Houston. Went from Houston to Boston and New York, and now I'm in Atlanta. Yeah, I've been in Atlanta for like 3.5 years now. So, I'm really happy all that I've achieved in this city and I'm excited for the future. Music is just like you know I like to be outdoors. You're talking about like what's good for the soul, and hiking is definitely something that outside of music that actually helps my creativity because I like to be around nature and everything. So I love hiking and being
Ooh,
outside.
please tell us more about how nature helps your creativity because that's powerful right there.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like God's like the best artist in the world. You go to these different places out here and you really just kind of have this moment of realization, like the things that you worry about, like these little minor things, it's just like you're like this little to like what God created around you. So like be thankful, like have new experiences, spend time with family. That's kind of where what I get from being outside and being around nature.
Man, it's so much power of really grounding ourselves in that stillness and that connection. Oh, I love how you mentioned that. But how you said that you've been just traveling the world, seeing from states to states. First of all, Houston is a poppin' city, just like Atlanta.
Mhm.
So, what's the difference between Houston and Atlanta?
Uh, well, Houston's home. Houston's home. It's not. It's no. There's no other city like Houston. But I think I just say that because I'm from there. But I'm gonna say it's just the difference is like I'm gonna say the Mexican food. So I'm a
Mm,
huge Mexican food girl, and I don't know, like Atlanta. It just may not be the. I've in recent like couple in the last couple months, excuse me, I have stumbled upon really good Mexican food, but that's like I've been here for 3.5 years. It took
wow.
that long, but Houston, there, that's Mexican food everywhere, and so
Oh, Mexican. What kind of Mexican food you? What kind of Mexican food you like?
all of it, like all of it, just all of it. Have you ever been to Papacitos? It's in
No,
Marietta.
no.
You should go there. That's actually a Texas chain. So like I just found out that that was there, and yeah, go there.
You said everything. I know that.
I love food, so
Oh my, I know that's right. And Atlanta is such a great place, especially for musicians. How has it been treating you?
it's been great. People of Atlanta have been very supportive of my music and my journey. So yeah, I'm just like really looking forward to like what this year brings. 2020 was just, you know, I feel like there's a reason why God had us all like in our how do I say this? In our growing phase, in our like
Mm,
we're still, whatever area you felt like you needed to grow in, that was the time. And I feel like he, definitely worked in my life
mm.
last year and like keeping me, even when people didn't see me, like God was working on me. And yeah, I feel like that's like that's where the most growth happens, when no one is looking. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So,
yes.
mhm.
I believe in like isolation for elevation, especially like God would keep those hidden for a season to elevate us. What else did you learn from 2020 and how did God cause you to grow?
I wanted to take that time to learn a new skill. I felt like, I love music and I've done it all my life. Um, but I want to see like what else like I have like in me. What else can I learn that I could possibly be good at that I never ever thought I would? And that happened to be tech. So I went to school for 3 months. It was this training program, and it was really, really, really tough because you couldn't do anything else. And I just my dumb self decided to put out a project during that time. That was really dumb. But I was just like, I'm a person that likes to release. Like, when I release a project, it's like a feeling of release emotionally.
Mm.
So everything worked out the way it was supposed to. But going to that school was very hard, especially being remote learning. Shout out to everyone in school who's learning remote because that is not easy. And yeah, the top of the year was February. So last month I started my first tech job, and I really, really love it. Um, it's really dope because they don't see people that look like you and I handling computers,
Come on.
and you know what I mean. So it's really cool, like accessing that side of my brain, doing things that I never thought I would do, and still do music. Um, you know,
That's a dynamic combination right there. Black
Right.
woman in tech. Come on. Black woman in tech. So, with being in tech, what are the elements? What do you do?
Well, I feel like that's the beauty of tech. There's so many opportunities. There's so many different lanes you can go into. And yeah, right now, because I'm still new, I will say I'm still new, but I
Yeah.
do love like every process that I've, been in since I started. I didn't think I would have a job that quickly, but you know, right now it's just been learning how to troubleshoot computers and fixing issues that people have at my job. So it's been really cool to start off because later on I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businesswoman, so I definitely want to bridge the two, like my music and tech, and help other artists, up and coming artists. And I don't want to be too specific, but help them in some way in the tech field, just bringing those two together.
Mm, that's a great merger. And that is just truly incredible because the way this era is going is technology. So, like, merging the two together is truly genius, especially just with the music itself. How do you balance those two lifestyles?
Just a schedule, just try to even though it's so hard, and I'm trying to get better at it because a lot of times I tend to neglect my self-care because I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta go get it, I gotta go, I gotta do this. But I try to go by schedule. Like I have like my little like little planner book I keep in my purse
Come
that I
on.
have to like write down everything. If you look at it, it's crazy. It's all like filled up and scratched, and I have like different motivational quotes, different Bible verses all throughout.
Oh.
But yeah,
Wow. What Bible verse and quote do you live by? Whichever one. I would love to know a quote that you live by.
they don't like me anyway, so I might as well just do what I want. Like
Mm.
I might as well. I just might as well live my life, live out, live my purpose. Why God put me here. I might as well do what I want because they don't like me. They're never gonna like really, really like me for me
Mm.
anyway. So I might as well just like be happy, take care of myself. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs or, musicians, whatever, we just kind of sometimes tend to forget about ourselves because we're constantly in the hustle, constantly trying to like just, one up ourselves. At least that's me. Like I'm my own competition. That's my
Yeah,
quote.
that's like that hits home. That
Yeah,
really hits home that we really have to just do the calling on our life and not care about opinions. And I love how you said like we're truly like have this hustle mentality. I know we are both so hard working. How
mhm,
do you just truly just take a moment of stillness and realize, okay, I'm doing enough. I am enough. I don't have to like listen to what social media, because like we're like in this like workaholic era right now, and
yes.
it's not good for our self care.
Yeah, I agree. I struggle with this a lot. I will say that. I can be really, really hard on myself. I'm trying to get better at that. But I'm grateful for my family, my sister, my friends that have, you know, always just like sent me just like encouraging texts throughout the day, or they're just like my people, the people that keep me like keep my mental together. And outside of that, meditation is always good. That's why I like to hike, just be around things that are bigger than me and my
Mhm.
problems. You know what I'm saying? So hiking up a mountain, yeah, like I love that kind of stuff.
That's amazing. I would love for you to tell us about your new EP. Tell us more about it.
For sure. Going deep. It's my last project. I feel like it's the best music I've ever written. It took us a year and a half to get all that done, but I think it just that's that project was really just about my growth, my mental, my spiritual growth. Um, I feel like everybody kind of battles with some sort of like self worth and self love in some way, whether they want to admit it or not. Like everyone second guesses themselves, even when that's not good. Or comparison, like comparison kills. Um, I've often had times like that, dealing with relationships and like in the career sense. So it was just me kind of like going deeper into who I am and who, my higher power, like what he called me to do on earth. It was just kind of like reassuring myself that, it doesn't matter what other people think of me. It's been like kind of in my life. So it's like, it doesn't matter to me, like what the outside world, thinks of like what I'm trying to do, as long as like, I keep God in my heart and I'm, staying true to my family, that keep me grounded. Should be good. And that was just really the whole EP.
Wow, it sounds amazing. And the fact that it took a year, that just symbolizes patience for me. How did you stay patient through that entire journey?
I'm glad you said patience, because some people would say like, you're just trying to hold on to music. So sometimes I've had that, like, they're my babies, so I'm like, I can be a bit of a perfectionist with my music and or with anything I put out. And yeah, sometimes I hold on to music a little longer
Mhm.
than I should. But yeah, I feel like timing is everything. And when you're proud of something, that's when you should put it out. I don't think you should listen to other people that, say, oh, put it out, but you're not like content with it within yourself. So that was that process. Mhm.
Yeah, that's amazing. When is the right time for you to like release a project? When do you know this song is right? It's God's timing. Let me share it to the world.
You just know. Like, honestly, you just know. And then you have your people around you that you trust, that are not yes people, that will tell you the truth. So I have both those things. But
Mm.
it's like, when something's just like, nah, scrap it. And when something's like, oh, this is it. This
This
is
is
it.
it. This
Yeah.
is it.
Well, really, when you're ready to put some money on it, that's when you know. That's actually a better, like when you're willing to spend money to go in the studio, record it, pay for the production, all the 9 yards go into that. That's when like you're willing to go that far with it. So
Going deep though, like within your soul, what did you learn about yourself, your true, authentic self?
that's a really tough question,
Mm.
because I learned a lot. And I think one of the things, like listening back to some of that, to some of the music on the project, it's like, man, I feel like some people are gonna like take these lyrics like, oh, this is really toxic. Cause I'm like listening back, I'm like, this is really toxic thing to say. But, that's how I felt at the time. One thing I kind of, which is really bad, but when I thought about love, I thought you had to go through a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought you had to, like, it was just, you had to go through something to, that's just love. Like, you
Mhm.
go through shit all the time. And it's like, I'm now older. It's like, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to go through drama. You ain't got stress. You ain't got stress, nigga. You know? It don't have to be that way. And that took a while for me to really know that. I thought I had to, like, deal with, just,
Deal with cheating. I think we all have to go through that to
mhm,
realize that's not love.
yeah, you ain't gotta do that, sis.
You don't gotta do that, sis.
Yeah.
Man, that is incredible, especially since you write all of your music as well. How is that process like?
It's different every time. It's not just one way that I write, but for most of the songs on that project, I really just kind of, I have a home studio in the basement, and it's like my little dungeon.
Come on.
But yeah, I would just kind of put the track on on the session and then just freestyle, like just do a couple of freestyles and, pick the best and really just kind of go from there.
Oh yeah, you gifted. You gifted with it. Especially when I saw the visuals for Too Good.
Hmm.
Sis, that was incredible. What
Yeah.
inspired that project? And even like the whole project itself, from the visuals, it was just color coordinated. The
Mhm.
acting was superb. Everything was just on point.
Well, shout out to Eboshi Platinum, the whole team. They were just amazing to work with. Shout out to the director, Andrew Lee. Um, when I hit him up, I had like a whole like vision board of how I wanted it to look with the aesthetic. And, I just pictured, beautiful brown women just feeling themselves and, this very like feminine pink, look. And yeah, I just wanted for that song, um, I wanted women to feel good about themselves. Like, man, sometimes, and this is not just men doing it, sometimes women do it, but like, sometimes you could be with someone that, they don't make you feel good about yourself. They're not like uplifting you, they're not supporting you. And um, that's a two-way street, I have to check myself, like making sure I'm doing that with, people who I'm with, my
Mm.
friends, my family, and my relationships. So yeah, I wanted women to feel that way, and Andrew was really dope in his way because he brought his creativity onto it, and we like mapped out a whole storyline. And I love working with other people, especially like other directors and set designers and all that. Like I love the visual aspect of this business.
Mm.
So yeah, it was a pleasure working with them.
Just the fact that it really takes a team
Oh
to
yeah,
create something just so magnificent in that way.
absolutely.
Love how you mentioned about perfectionism, because I feel like as artists we all go through that, want things to be just so perfect. So what type of wisdom can you leave with artists about perfectionism?
I would say don't let it make you lose money. Like someone told me, like you have probably like $1 million worth of songs.
Mm,
$1 million. How do you say that? $1 million worth of songs. $1 million worth of songs
yes.
on your laptop, and that you're just holding, like material that you're just holding that you can make money off of, and you decide to just keep it hidden because but it's never going to be, it's like I learned that it's never going to be absolutely perfect in your head.
Mm.
Like there's always going to be something even after the fact, even after when you released it, you listen back, you're like, I don't know. Like that's how I feel.
Wow. And it's just like share it to the world. It can touch so many people. And
Yeah.
how you just blessed us with Hands on Me and Poison. What inspired those projects?
Hands on Me. Hands on Me is a funny song. I Yeah, it's funny because when I wrote it was like summer of 2019, and then when it was actually released, it was during the pandemic.
Mm.
So I think sometimes like some of the songs that I wrote a while back kind of went towards like quarantine vibes, like
Yeah.
missing someone, wanting someone to touch you, but you can't or they can't. I found that interesting, but
God's timing.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Hands on Me. Shout out to Slim Wave. He produced that song. We just wrote it, or I went to his house and we tracked it out. And I came back to my house and just laid down vocal tracks. And that's how that came about with Poison. Excuse me. With Poison, shout out to Dirage Global. He produced that song. And yeah, that was kind of the same thing. Like I heard that track and I was like, man, that sounds dope. Let me see what I could do with that.
Mm.
Especially Poison was a little. I know people were shocked to hear that song from me, given that most of my songs are a little bit more brighter. They're a little bit more feminine, and that one is shows a little bit of my darker side that I want to continue to you
Mm.
know, evolve in.
They are amazing. And I love how you produce and write feel good music because that is what relates so greatly to my heart. And it's so appreciative, sis. I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you saying that. Honestly, and I did that on purpose because I feel like there's already enough slow songs for people, and I like being in my feelings, but then sometimes I'm just like, man, I just want to like dance around. I just want to feel good. I just want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. There's all this sad music in the world, so I just kind of created something that that I wanted to hear.
What else would you love your listeners and your supporters to take away from each one of your songs? Like just you as an artist overall.
There's always time to grow. Um, in every way, in your career life, and your mental space, your spiritual space, how you deal with relationships. There's always room to grow.
Hmm.
I've definitely grown in all of those ways throughout that project. Yeah, I definitely grown. So yeah, don't be afraid of growth.
Come on, going deep. And I love how you also mention about our femininity because I feel as though like that is our power.
Hmm.
Can you talk more about that and how you step into your power like that?
Honestly, sometimes all it takes is to get done up. My mom always said, if you look good, you feel good.
Mm.
That's a little vain, but in the circumstances, like if you put time in and you you know, you put work into how you look, y- all that energy is gonna come inside. You're like, oh, I look good. I feel good about myself, and you know, just take care of yourself. Care about how you come off to other people, how you talk to people. What kind of energy are you bringing to the world?
That is incredible, especially just even your makeup overall, like
Oh,
slay to the
thank
goal.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
How do
Yeah.
you stay creative?
Well, in the winter it's pretty hard because it's cold.
Yeah.
It like nature really helps.
Mm.
Nature, traveling. Yeah, in the winter is really hard for me because I don't, it's cold. You don't want to go
Yeah.
nowhere. Um,
Right.
but also just going back to people who have inspired me along the way. Um, Shaka Khan, Janet Jackson.
Mm.
There's such a long list. Childish Gambino, all these like wonderful artists that I feel like have inspired me to like be creative.
Music is such a huge role in this world, and the fact that you are creating substance
Mm.
is so meaningful.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so incredible, Simone. And as well as like trusting this process, I feel like this is a journey itself, and if we truly are doing what we are called to do, it takes longevity. So I would love to know how you're constantly trusting the process and staying in your purpose and aligning yourself to what God called you to do.
That's a real question. Those are deep questions. I love it though. I love it. Um, Honestly, it just comes and goes. It just like one day I feel like this, and the other day like I feel good one day, and then the other day I feel bad. But I um I just try to like remember like what God has put me through, like what He's like taken me, out of. A lot of times in my life, it's like they'll be like, no, 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 no. Like on opportunities, it'd be like a whole bunch of no's and then like one yes. So
Mm.
like, and I've always felt like that was like God's way of like reminding me, like, oh, like I got you. Like this is just a part of it. Like people are gonna say no, but yes, yes, my child. Like just keep going. This is your confirmation. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do. So just keep going. And that's always happened. That has always happened in my life. There'll be like a whole bunch of no's, a whole bunch of like, like, dang, like, God, I'm trying my best. I'm out here working. I don't know what else you want me to do. And then He'll bless you. And yeah.
And that rejection can sometimes, hurt our spirit sometimes, but it's really God protecting us in
Mm,
the end.
yeah.
Wow. So how do
Absolutely.
you like truly still build up your confidence to not even take those no's to heart?
Um, just knowing that that's what comes with it. Like, it's gotta like if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. That's one. So, a lot of musicians that have, I guess, made it or gone to a certain level, I should say, um, they had to go through it too. Like I know I'm no different than any other artist that is hustling. We may have different circumstances of like, whatever, like family support, funds, all that, but it's the same kind of struggle. You're gonna go through no's, you're gonna go through like people not supporting you. Sometimes it's family not supporting you, but it's like, how bad do you want it? Like, because
Mhm.
there's always going to be someone, that's willing to work harder. That's,
Mhm.
and I'm a very competitive person. So that has always like fueled like my hustle, you know.
I just appreciate your honesty and transparency, especially with the lack of support, especially just being an artist overall. How do you like not even take that personal?
Because of life, and so I'm just like living mine. I'm just using mine, and I'm doing it in a way where I try to do it in a way where I'm spreading positive energy in the world. So after that, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew when once I started taking things like taking music or taking anything seriously, there are going to be people who don't understand or want to place their fears on you, and it's just kind of like, okay, now it's just like, okay.
Just that easy like that. We make things so difficult. What advice can you give those artists that have stage fright? Because in the beginning you mentioned that it just came natural to you, like how you just captivated the stage growing up in church. This
hmm
was just what you were good at naturally. I would love to just know some advice for artists that can truly captivate the stage.
I still get stage fright too.
You're like, I'm human too. Like,
Yeah, I get nervous every time I hit the stage,
wow.
but that just means you have something to lose, and that just means you care about it. You know what I'm saying? It would be bad. Like I don't want to see the day. I don't want there to be a day where I'm not nervous to like perform, because then that means, oh, I don't give a shit. Like I don't care. I don't do like, and that's a problem for me.
Wow.
for my walk, for me and my craft. You know what I mean? That's a problem that I have.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're just not losing the enthusiasm about what you were passionate about before.
Hmm.
Simone, this was amazing. Just,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy, your transparency, everything that you are giving to this world. I just want to thank you.
Thank you for having me. This has been like such a great conversation.
You are amazing. Where can we connect with you and keep up with you?
You can find me at Symone Royale, SYMONEROYALE.
Mm,
And that's everywhere. I made it really easy for people.
come
That's
on.
everywhere. Yeah.
And then especially your EP too. Where can we listen?
All streaming platforms, Going Deep. Go stream that. Also, go stream, not stream, we'll stream. Go view or watch Scenes by Symone Part 1. It's my mini docu-series I just started. Part 2 is coming in April, March, April. Um, that's just a way for, my fans, my supporters, to see who I am, like, outside of this girl who does these covers and these videos, and there's a real huge dork inside,
Mm.
like behind this wig. So
What?
you know what I mean. And you can see me like interacting with my family, and conquering fears on camera. So yeah, that project is really dear to me. um, so yeah, go watch that.
Awesome. And I would love for you to leave us off with just some inspiration about connecting and building a closer relationship with God.
You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have all the ideas like all planned out. If you write it down and you pray about it, I live my life by pray, plan, execute,
Mm.
and repeat. So for any project, like I write down what I'm trying to do, like what the goal is for this project. I pray about it. I plan it, and then I execute it, and somehow God always like catches me, like when I think like, oh my God, what if people don't like it? Oh my God, like all the negative things, and He always comes through. Maybe not in the timing where I wanted it, but His timing is always sweeter.
Just gotta trust it.
Hmm.
You said you write it down, you plan it, you pray, and you execute.
Yeah, pray, plan, execute.
That's the key to success right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Simone, so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, listeners, as well, for tuning in, tapping in to another Bag Talk Take the Lead podcast. We will meet you at the top.